Today on the table, we're reviewing a really nice figure from the Marvel Legends Magic the Gathering collaboration, this being their new Battle Damage Spider-Man. Now, this is actually a pretty unique figure, as Marvel Legends doesn't really do Battle Damage figures that often. None really come to mind when I think of it. There might be some older ones, but this is like a super unique legend. You can see there's just some amazing details to this guy. Just looking at the box, I mean, they have a bunch of cuts in the suit. It's not like it's just painted. It's actually like they make cuts in the sculpt. And especially with the butterfly joint, you can actually see they actually have little jagged edges in there since they actually cut into the joint. Now, just looking at the box here, it looks absolutely outstanding. You got your logos and everything on there. Some nice art on each side. And then on the back, of course, it shows you your other figures of the wave. None of those really interest me. That's why I only picked up this one. I actually got it for cheaper because Target Circle had a deal going on where if you spend more than $40 on toys, you get $10 off. So I literally got this and like a Hot Wheels cart, and I got this for 33 bucks after tax. And man, I just can't wait to go into this figure. Now taking a look at our figure in this plastic casing, you know, he looks pretty good. It comes with a few accessories, a few pairs of hands, and an alternate head sculpt. But the main thing about like these Magic the Gathering figures, and the main thing that increases the prices, is like the card that it comes with. It's like this rainbow foil. I'm gonna pull it out of here. I think it looks absolutely amazing. There's a really nice like full art going on here with our Spider-Man Battle Damage. It's this nice rainbow foil, man. It looks outstanding. You can see like his, I guess they'd be attacks. I don't play Magic, so I don't really understand it. Oh man, there's a Flash one, and then Sacrifice, Spectacular Spider-Man. Then it says 3 of 2. Not sure what that means either. But it's just some really nice art, and I really like this set of cards. I actually bought a few, and I do have shorts of me unboxing those on the channel. You can check them out, please. Thank you. Let's take a look at our figure here. He comes with a really like crappy web shield. It's not like an exciting accessory whatsoever. Like, it's not like, I don't want to say it's crappy. It's just like unnecessary. And I feel like there could have been some other kind of web effects or something. Especially like how the Maximum had his like thwipping hands with the webs coming out of it. I think those would have been better use of budget than using this shield, which I do believe also came with the Maximum. Speaking of the Maximum, this web was also included in the Maximum, and I think they've literally been using this, if it is the same accessory, since the first Amazing Spider-Man movie and that basic toy line. And really, this is just a very bad accessory, very bad web. This whole grippy thing at the end could be much improved on, and I think there's definitely enough calls for them to make a new part. Especially if the figure's retail being $40, I would have hoped there'd be a little better accessories. Taking all our hands out here. He comes with multiple pairs, including thwippers, you know, just very standard hands. I don't think there's anything unique about these. Then there's, of course, his wall-crawling hands, which also look nice. I don't believe there's anything unique about these. Then, finally, of course, he has his fist hands, like kind of web-grabbing hands, which does make that web every bit more useless, which is unfortunate, you know. They usually have at least web grabbing hands if they give you a web, but this time it seems like they cheaped out, which it's okay with the amount of new molding. I don't want to excuse it, but the amount of new molding put into this figure I really like. Its base is on the Renew Your Vows body, and it just looks outstanding. It would have been cool if this mask was styled in the same way that that mask was, but I do like this squinty eye look. You can see here he has a gash in his mask. It's actually like cut into it. And then there's some hair popping out on this side. I think it looks absolutely freaking outstanding. And then you can also take off the head and pop out a final accessory. This unmasked Peter Parker head sculpt. I think it looks pretty good. Some nice battle damaging. The like little scratches and everything. Looks like his eyes kind of like swollen there. You can really see the details with the zoom there. Oh my gosh. This figure's head sculpt looks absolutely amazing. See all the little scratches. That's like a bloody, swollen eye up there. Looks outstanding. Here's the other head again with under the zoom here. You can see it, the hair's a very nice lighter brown color than the Renew Your Vows original head, which this is that same head mold, I believe. They just recolored it some, put some nice dark brown washing throughout, and they just made it like better. But like moving on to the figure here, I'm just gonna kind of, oh, that crack was not nice. I'm just gonna show you the articulation going on. Oh, he gets a nice butterfly joint action going on there. They basically cross if you like stretch a little bit there, but by default they don't fully cross. It's pretty okay range for Marvel Legends especially. Here's the back. Oh, what the heck? Oh, what the heck? That's some really good back butterfly joint range. What in the world? And it's even better because on the Renew Your Vows, it had like the legs on the butterfly joint, so it looked weird when you stretched it. Ew! But since the cut is in the suit, I believe that's why they want the smaller logo. And I just think this looks much better. Another thing I really like about this one is they fixed the problem with the Renew Your Vows of the color scheme just being bad. I did not like that dark blue or like the weird red they went with. And this is like a very perfect classic Spider-Man red and blue. So it does make me hope we can get this exact figure non-battle damage from the Legends team somewhere in the near future. Now, this figure isn't perfect. If you just look closer here, it has that typical Spider-Man Legends issue of like the web lines not always being a consistent thickness, but I don't think it's like as bad or egregious as like the No Way Home figures had it. Like those were terrible. Now it's still not excusable. You can see it's bad like up here. It kind of looks a little odd on the, I believe that would be the forearm. It's just really disappointing that we still have these issues, especially after like the Legends team has made a lot of improvements in like the past few years. Just to see some of that same stuff going on is a little disappointing. Now for his torso, you can get pretty good bend forward, good bend back, tiny bit of pivoting, and of course full 360 spin there. Now I really do like how this looks. Just looking at it, man, the belt to like torso section is very seamless. I think that looks good when it's out. You don't see any like blue underneath it or any like red line like was up with the SH Figure Arts where it had like the red line on the back for some reason. I think this figure looks outstanding in that department, and just the paint apps overall are pretty solid. Now for his arms, your standard double joint elbows going all the way up like that. And of course your hands can rock and turn. Looks very freaking nice. Now for the hips, they are drop down hips. That does give you a little extra range. Oh. Then for your hips, they are like drop down, so you can pull that down and get a little extra range. For your kick, oh no, that doesn't seem like a whole lot of range. Like, oh, that is the range not dropped, and that's the range dropped, which is a lot difference, which is kind of crazy because it still isn't that good. Like looking at our SH Figure Arts, who doesn't have like drop down hips or anything, his leg goes freaking high up. Like he can hit crazy Spider-Man poses. Like I'll literally just have them side by side. Like that is shocking. Like that's how much higher it goes. Like it's kind of crazy that they think that's acceptable in any sense, especially for a Spider-Man figure. I feel like a lot of the time the leg articulation is pretty solid on Marvel Legends for their Spider-Mans. Like their No Way Home figures I remember being pretty solid. Even the first appearance Spider-Man, which doesn't have drop-down legs, I feel it has pretty good forward kick. But this one just is kind of lackluster in that department, which is a little disappointing. Then kick back, pretty standard. Doesn't kick back much more with the leg drop down. It is a very nice system. I just wish it had a little more range to it. Then of course both your legs got some swiveling at the thighs. Very tight, I must say. Like this one doesn't really want to go that much, but it still works. And even continuing down, we can get to more of that battle damage. We see they actually cut into the leg joint there, and you have a little slash. Same on this side, is like a bigger cut throughout the whole thigh portion here. Looks very nice, I might say. The skin color is very consistent from part to part, and I do commend the team for doing that. I mean, even on the face, it looks good, on the torso. The paint apps are pretty dang solid here. Continuing on with our articulation, our legs are very standard, double jointed knees at this point. They don't kick up too insanely far, but I feel like that's pretty standard. You can even see some more cuts here I didn't notice on the boot, which look nice. Man, I feel like they put some good effort into this figure. It's just that kick was kind of disappointing, the range there. Then, of course, we do get our boot swivel on our Spidey, which is great. I love to see when they do that. Feet can kick up that little bit, go down all the way. Pivoting, same both sides. And then, another thing about the Renew Your Vows Spidey is he has the toe joints. I really love when Marvel Legends adds these toe joints. It gives so much to Spider-Man, and I think it should just be the standard at this point for like most figures. 99% of the time they could just reuse this foot or make a female foot to have the same thing going on. I understand when there's like heels involved, but when even McFarlane can do it, I can see them being a little cheapos at Hasbro, especially since Toy Biz had toe joints a lot of the time. But we get what we get, and we don't get upset, except when it's $40. I think there's a little bit room to complain, especially with that kick. Overall, I think this figure has very solid articulation, though. Testing the articulation further here, I tried getting him in that amazing Spider-Man 300 pose, Todd McFarlane cover. Absolutely outstanding, one of my favorite covers. And, he just can't hit it. He does not have the bend that is required to do such a thing. I mean, here they are kind of side by side. I quickly posed this one up, so it's not like point for point perfect. But, the SH Figuarts does hit the pose like way better than the Legends, which, you can't expect. This import, this is a Legends. But I feel like this body being so acclaimed by the community should be able to hit some of the crazy Spider-Man poses. So here's like how he can crouch. He's like completely unable to do the Spidey crouch, which is very disappointing. The Maximum series could do it. Most Spider-Man, imports can do it. If I just do this here, like SH Figuarts does it with ease. I don't have the right hands on, but like he can do it with ease. It's a little disappointing that a like $40 figure can't, especially since this one's $80 and then this one's $40 and a standard Legends is $25. And for literally $10 more, you could get the Maximum, which has really great articulation, pretty much on par with most imports. Very nice figure. I really did like that one. And it's kind of depressing with how, acclaimed this Renew Your Vows body is, that it can't really get much range in terms of your head. And just like that torso feels pretty limited to be able to like reach down all the way. The only way to really hit it is if you go like one arm down and like full bend. Here's how he is in like a classic Spidey landing. You see him using that toe joint there. I think this pose looks pretty good. I'll probably have him posted up something like this on my shelf. My main goal in here is probably have him with my villains, like have them all surrounding him. I think that would look really freaking nice. And I think this pose suits that really well. It's just kind of disappointing that his head can't look up enough to get a good looking up pose. So it can't really like do much. It's not even like fully on the peg. Like if it's fully on the peg, it will look up less than that. He's basically looking down at that point, which is a little disappointing since this figure, is a Spider-Man and a lot of his stuff is like crouching. So it's a little annoying that he can't hit like a full look up when he's crouching. I mean, like overall, I think this figure is still solid. Its posing isn't like too incredible. Definitely better than most of the older primitive Marvel Legends. But I think especially after that Maximum, the standards have kind of been raised with how they're pricing the figure. If the figure's $40, I do think it should have a little bit better articulation going on. Still a solid figure. I really like the paint apps, all the damage. I think it will look great on the shelf. I just don't think this guy reaches that full potential at the full $40 price point. Now, since I got mine for $30 basically, I'm all on board. Only $5 more than a regular Legend. I'll take it, you know? Looks great overall. It's just for that $40 price point. I don't think I could fully recommend it unless there's some kind of deal going on. Another complaint about that price is, you know, with the card, it does feel like it inflates the price a bit, especially if this would be like a $30 or $25 figure by default. This card does not feel like it's worth $10 to $15 on its own. If you're a Magic player, I could see that being a little bit more, but I don't see the audiences crossing over that much between Marvel Legends collector and Magic the Gathering collector. It just doesn't really mix. So it does feel like they just kind of want to increase the price point on that and just inflate stuff. I do commend them for the amounts of efforts they put in here, but it feels like this whole line is like overpriced by like $5 to $10. But guys, that's really all for my review of this guy. I'd give him like a solid 7.5 out of 10. You guys let me know what you think of him down below and if you'll be picking him up. But again, that's all I got for you guys today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.